South Korea's arrest warrant battle with President Yoon tests democracy. The ongoing conflict over the arrest warrant issued against President Yoon Suk-yeol has become a litmus test for South Korea's democracy, exposing deep political divides and institutional vulnerabilities. On January 7th, Seoul's Western District Court extended the arrest warrant for President Yoon at the request of the Corruption Investigation Office for High-Ranking Officials, CIO. This marked the first time in South Korean history that a sitting president has faced an arrest warrant, leading to uncharted political and legal territory. The CIO alleges that Yoon's declaration of martial law in December constituted abuse of power and incitement of rebellion. While South Korean presidents typically enjoy immunity from prosecution, exceptions are made for charges like treason and rebellion. The legal complexities have further polarized the nation's political landscape. South Korea's democratic institutions have been put to the test. The immediate aftermath of Yoon's martial law declaration saw public protests, emergency parliamentary sessions, and a successful impeachment motion against him. These swift reactions highlighted the resilience of South Korea's democracy. However, subsequent events have underscored its fragility. The Public Security Service, PSS, tasked with presidential security, has resisted efforts by investigators to execute the arrest warrant. PSS Director Park Chung-joon has refused multiple summonses for questioning, intensifying the standoff between law enforcement and the president's security detail. This refusal has fueled debate about the balance of power between executive authority and judicial accountability. Public sentiment is sharply divided. Supporters of President Yoon argue that his martial law measures were necessary to maintain order during a politically volatile period. Conversely, critics contend that his actions undermine the rule of law and democratic principles. Protests on both sides have become a common sight in Seoul. While opposition leaders have called for Yoon's immediate resignation, members of his ruling People Power Party, PPP, have doubled down on their support, framing the arrest warrant as a politically motivated attack. The impasse has revealed significant gaps in South Korea's legal and institutional framework. Critics argue that the lack of clear procedures for addressing such unprecedented situations has exacerbated the crisis. For instance, laws governing the arrest of a sitting president are vague, leaving room for interpretation and obstruction. Experts warn that this ambiguity could set a dangerous precedent. This case exposes how the lack of detailed protocols can weaken the checks and balances integral to a functioning democracy, said Mason Ritchie, a professor of international relations at Hankook University in Seoul. The political turmoil has not been confined to domestic issues. South Korea's economy is also feeling the strain. The South Korean won has seen its sharpest decline against the US dollar since 2019, and foreign investors are expressing concerns over the country's political stability. International observers, including those from the United Nations, have voiced concerns about the implications for South Korea's global standing. As a key player in East Asia, prolonged instability could disrupt regional dynamics and economic partnerships. The impeachment proceedings against President Yoon are expected to reach the Constitutional Court in the coming weeks. If upheld, the court's decision will not only determine Yoon's political future, but also shape the trajectory of South Korea's democratic evolution. This crisis underscores the importance of robust legal frameworks and impartial institutions in upholding democratic principles. As South Korea navigates this turbulent chapter, the world watches closely, hoping for a resolution that reaffirms its commitment to democracy and the rule of law. The battle over President Yoon's arrest warrant has become more than a legal matter. It is a defining moment for South Korea's democracy. Whether the nation can navigate this unprecedented situation without compromising its democratic ideals remains to be seen.